Hey guys, we're in the boat today and we're going to do a quick unboxing. I haven't done one in a while, but it's because I haven't ordered anything in a while. Finally got around to replenishing some stock. Generally I've been buying them here and there at different tackle stores, but I finally got around to making a tackle warehouse order, and we're going to go ahead and see what I got ordered today. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump into this thing. Most of this is kind of restock stuff. Some of it is new stuff that I haven't tried before that honestly a coworker talked me into trying. We're gonna go fish a tournament tomorrow on a local lake and see if they work and hopefully win some money, but we'll see how that goes. So we have our order here. Surely there's a sticker. I asked for a sticker. So the first thing I got here is the Voss weights drop shot. These are called the Cannonball drop shot. These are 1/8. I bought a couple of these. I will be doing quite a bit of drop shotting, 1/4 and 1/8 here, as you can see. They work well. I do prefer your regular barrel weights. I do have these for situations where I'm fishing rock and I don't want to get hung up near as much as the other weights. Staying in that same little category, we do have 1/4 ounce and 3/16 ounce Voss weights. These are the finesse drop shot. These are more of the tube weights. Pretty cheap weights. They are lead. I like them pretty well. They work fine. I mean, honestly, the weight is the least of your concerns as far as this goes, outside of the size, whether it's going to get hung up or not. You're not really feeling anything with this, to be 100% honest. You're worried about the hook and what kind of bait you have on there. Next, staying in the same vein, we do have some drop shot hooks here. These are 1/0 Gamakatsu. I generally like to use the hooks that have the swivel and everything built into them, just because it's so much quicker to do. But I do feel like I have a better hookup ratio with the ones that you tie yourself and do the line through and put the actual weight on it. So I decided to go ahead and get those. Next in here, we do have a spoon. I don't use a lot of spoons, but on the particular lake I'm fishing, I know that they bite on spoons quite a bit. This particular spoon is a Lake Fork Flutter spoon by Nichols Lures. If you're familiar with Nichols Lures, you know they make the big, huge Magnum spoons that are, I mean, absolutely massive, 7 to 8 inches. I mean, just huge. I've never thrown one, but I assume that this will get done what I need for it to do. So if I lose it, I'll lose it. I've never thrown a Nichols spoon before, so we'll see how they go. I know people say that they're great spoons. So next, as you know, if you've ever watched any of my videos, you know I like 6th Sense as far as my crankbaits and any hard baits that I use. So here we have a Crush 50X square bill. This is in Spanish bone. The lake I'm fishing does have kind of clearer water, so I do like a more natural pattern on this. Really like these square bills. The only downside to them is that they do rise pretty quick. There's a lot of times where I prefer a slower rise on them, but I mean, I've never lost any fish because of it or missed any bites because of it, but there's times where it's real cold. In this particular lake, that is not the fact. There are times where it's real cold and you do want a slower rise on it, but I like these a whole lot. So we have another one here in Copper Green Shad. Very cool color, very natural color. I like that a whole lot. Again, it goes with the clear water. Works real well. And one more, always great for Lake Granbury, which is my home lake. You have the Chartreuse Blackback. Let's see if we can get this guy out of here. Absolute favorite square bill for just about any lake. Whether it's dirty water, clear water, you can get bit on this. So you have Chartreuse Blackback there. Back. Chartreuse. Super sharp hooks on these things. You can see there. So one crankbait I can use. It just costs a little bit more, but it's the one crankbait that I can use that I don't have to worry about changing out the hooks on it. I can just pull this thing out of the package and throw it. Sticking with the 6th Sense, I did grab a Quake 70. This is their newer lipless crankbait. I think they're getting rid of their older version of this and going straight to Quake because you can't really find their older ones anymore. This particular size is a 5/8 ounce. It does have a pretty loud rattle to it. I will say I fished a tournament on Sam Rayburn pretty recently, and this guy is what really was catching them. Unfortunately, I didn't get them in the boat, but I was catching them on this thing. And you can see very, very cool detail, very cool colors on this thing, especially for the price you pay for it. But listen to the sound. Has a super loud rattle to it, so it will really get the bass's attention there. As always, 6th Sense, very, very well detailed, very Very great lures, very good colors all around, and has a good action to it as well. So, like these things. 6 Sense Quake 70. I don't like the bigger size. I do like the 70 size. They do make a bigger size if you're down there hopping it or whatever, you know, if you want a sand bass or striper fish or whatever, but I like to stick to the 70 size. Okay, next we do have a little bit of terminal tackle here. I generally like to use Woo tungsten, but I'm kind of in a pinch and I'm out of tungsten right now, so I did have to make a quick order. My secondary tungsten I like to go to is a Picasso tungsten. It's cheap, it's good, it works, it does what it needs to do. It tends to keep its paint on there real well. I have 3/8 ounce here. I do believe I grabbed some more. Yes, I do have 1/4 for a slower fall, just in case they're being a little bit finicky and you want a little bit slower presentation to it. I picked these guys up too. And generally I like to use the Woo tungsten, but this is what I had to get for now with the Tackle Warehouse order and have it overnighted. Gamakatsu 3/0 offset shank hooks. Pretty much use these for just about everything I do as far as Texas rigging. Every now and then, if I'm using a bigger bait, I got 2 of these. I will use the wide gap hooks, but that's generally if I'm using a Carolina rig or something that I need a fluke on, or if I'm using just a regular worm or Senko or anything like that, these are the guys that I'm using. Also picked up some split rings. I've had some trouble with hooks rusting. I've been letting a lot of water get in my tackle boxes, so the hooks are starting to rust. So I need to change them out. And as the hooks rust, so do these split rings. So I'm needing to change all these out so that they're not affecting the baits that are in my tackle boxes currently. So I did pick up a couple of these. We do have size 2, 4, and 3 here. Not a huge difference in the sizes. Pick those up so I can change out some hooks. The Danielson egg sinkers, I do like these. They're kind of expensive. These are for Carolina rigging, and we'll be doing some Carolina rigging tomorrow. I like these egg sinkers a lot. They're cheap, they're lead. They're a higher quality than most lead you get. I mean, not that you can really have a huge difference in quality with lead. I just really prefer these just because they're a little bit better than your standard Eagle Claw or your Gremlin weights. I mean, they're all gonna work the same pretty much as far as that goes if you're not using tungsten, but I did pick up some Danielson egg sinkers for Carolina rigging tomorrow. Have one more lipless crankbait. Unfortunately, 6 Sense does not make a chartreuse blackback or anything in that nature. Like I mentioned earlier, I do like the chartreuse blackback lipless crankbait. It's my favorite color for any lake. I've always found that it works down here in Texas, but 6 Sense does not make that, so I did pick up the Spro. This is Western Chartreuse Blackback, and I'll go ahead and open this up. I do like the action of these Spros. I like the way they run. They have super sharp hooks. You don't have to worry about changing them out. The only thing is they do have a bigger profile than the 6 Sense do. There's not a huge difference in them, and these are actually the bigger size of the 6 Sense lipless that they make. Again, I think they're discontinuing the other size that are smaller ones, so this might be their standard for now, but I do prefer a smaller lipless crankbait. Next up, we have some shaky heads. These are the Big Bite baits. Wacky head, this particular size is the 1/8 ounce. You can see it does have a pretty nice, not wide gap, but semi-wide gap hook on it. I don't get super into the tungsten or anything like that as far as the shaky heads go. I don't use a ton of shaky heads, but I do like this particular size and shape, so I decided to go ahead and pick up some of these and see how they work. I mean, for the price that you pay for these, and I believe they're Gamakatsu hooks. I'm not 100% certain, but I believe I read that when I bought them. I mean, kind of hard to go wrong for as many as you get. You have 5 in here for, you know, super cheap price. Of course, we have our Blue Fleck Power Worms. This works very well around here in Texas. Just about any lake you can go and throw some Blue Fleck Power Worms and catch them. If you're not using these in Texas, you're missing the boat. I just really have a lot of confidence in these and like using these, and I'm pretty low on them, so I decided to pick up another bag. And lastly, pretty much the whole reason I made this order, I picked up some of these Megabass Spark Shads. And again, one of my coworkers talked me into getting these. He did show me a video on YouTube of Zaldane throwing these things, and the action on them are just amazing. You don't have to put much effort into getting them to move. They're great drop shot bait, super good profile on them. So I'll just pull this out of the package. Look how much that thing is moving already without me doing anything. I mean, I'm just turning it over, holding it there as steady as I can. So that really impressed me, is the action. You you can just very slowly move this thing and you can get that tail going. On the video that Zaldane was throwing these on, I mean, he was drop shotting and actually reeling the thing in and giving it some action, and he was catching fish on it. And I know the YouTube videos are set up to do that, but I was very impressed at how little work he had to put in to get some action out of these things. So I'm hoping that we get some bites on these tomorrow and catch some fish on them. This particular color is gold shad, and then I did pick up another color called Real, so it's kind of a natural shad type color. Megabass, Spark Shad, these are the 3-inch. I do prefer smaller sizes on drop shot. You can buy them in bigger sizes if you want to use trailers, or if you want to actually just throw a regular swim bait. And again, you saw they have great action to them. Last but not least, of course, we have our Tackle Warehouse sticker. I collect these things, have more than I'll ever know what to do with, but might as well get it, it's free. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you guys. I'm gonna try and make a video of the tournament we fish tomorrow. Good or bad, we'll see how we do, but I'm gonna try and put up a video of us catching some fish and let you know how we do. Again, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, guys.